is to start by listing the atoms you have on the left side and the right side of the equation. For example, in this equation, I have C plus O2 produces carbon dioxide, CO2. So I have carbon, C, I have oxygen, O, on the left side, and on the right side I have carbon and oxygen. Then the second thing I'm going to do is count the number of each type of atom on each side. And so you can follow along. I'm going to be working off of this worksheet that you did that says balancing equations. But I haven't gotten there yet. This is just a practice. So on this side, how many carbon do I have? What is the subscript that follows the letter C on this side? Excellent. I have 1 carbon on this side. How many oxygen do I have on this side? What is the subscript that follows the letter O on this side? Excellent. I have 2 oxygen on this side. Now let me compare with the right side. What is the subscript that follows C on this side? In other words, how many carbon do I have on this side? Very good. I have 1 carbon atom on this side. How many oxygen atoms do I have on this side? In other words, what is the subscript that follows the letter O on the right side of the equation? Excellent. I have 2 oxygen on this side. The third step in balancing equation is to compare both sides to see if they match. On the left side, I have 1 carbon, and on the right side, I have 1 carbon. So that matches. On the left side, I have 2 oxygen, and on the right side, I have 2 oxygen. So they match. So in this case, there's nothing I need to do to the formula. This formula is balanced. Now take out the worksheet that you had called Balancing Act and look at the front side where we have our examples. And we're going to do the first one together. So start with the equation that says Mg plus O2 equals MgO. The first thing we're going to do is list our atoms on the left and right side, and they've done that for us. On the left side I have magnesium, Mg, and oxygen, O, and I have those same 2 on the right side. Now I'm going to count and record the number of each atoms on each side. How many atoms of magnesium do I have on the left side of the equation? Excellent. I have 1 magnesium on the left side of the equation. How many oxygen do I have on the left side of the equation? Excellent. I have 2 oxygen on the left-hand side of the equation. On the right side, how many magnesium do I have? Excellent. I have 1 magnesium on the left side. And how many oxygen do I have on the left-hand side? Excellent. I have 1 oxygen on the left-hand side. So now I need to compare both sides. Well, I have 1 magnesium here and 1 magnesium here, so they look like they might be balanced, but I have 2 here of the oxygen and only 1 here. On the right side, I only have 1 oxygen. So on the right side, I need 1 more oxygen. The way I get this extra oxygen is to add a coefficient in front of my MgO. So down here, where I'm going to try to match things up, I'm going to add another oxygen. So in order to add an oxygen to the right side, I can't change it down here because that changes what I'm looking at. That changes the compound. So I add a coefficient of 2. That now gives me 2 oxygen. So on this side, I have 1 magnesium and 2 oxygen. And now we look, does that match the right-hand side? Indeed it does. On this side I have 1 magnesium and 2 oxygen. Actually, I made a mistake. I have 2 magnesium. 2 magnesium, right? I have 2 oxygen and 2 magnesium on this side. So it doesn't match. I need 1 more magnesium. So now if I put a 2 here, I have 2 magnesium and 2 oxygen on the right side, and 2 magnesium and 2 oxygen on the left side, and this equation is balanced. And you have to be careful of when you add your coefficients, you have to make sure you go back and count your atoms again, because it is very easy to lose track of how many atoms are there. So you have to recount them. Let's try another one. The second example, they've already written down the atoms on each side, so let's count. We have We have 1 calcium and 2 oxygen on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side I have 1 calcium and 1 oxygen. Do they match? Does the number of calcium on the left and right match? Does the number of oxygen on the left and right match?